Well, let's try a little experiment here, retouching on a person's face in Photoshop Elements. First step we'll take is to duplicate the picture. You can do that by Command or Control J. Notice on the right side of the layers panel here, it made a duplicate layer. Now whatever we do will be affecting this layer, the duplicate layer, rather than the original picture. Okay, we want to go to the filter option up here and choose blur, and from that we'll choose Gaussian blur, and you notice how it blurred the picture, anywhere from there to extremes if we go too far. So we're going to slowly move the slider to the right, looking at the areas that we might want to modify some of the wrinkles here a little bit are emphasized a little more than maybe this lady would want them. So I'm going to slide the slider just a bit to the right and watching that area on the face until it gets to probably about there where it modifies it quite a bit, and hit OK. Alright, now the next step is to make a layer mask. We'll work with a layer mask, and the little square here with a circle in it is the layer mask. Notice the white mask that appeared here. Okay, in this case we want the mask to be black, so in order to invert that from white to black, we'll use the Command or Control key with the I for invert. So we do that and it becomes black. Now whatever we do will be in effect scraping black off of this so that we can see through it to the picture that we've blurred somewhat. What we need to make sure before we start that process is that the color boxes on the left over here are black and white, and that the white is on top. And what's important is to choose a soft brush, which we have selected here. If we had a hard edged brush like this, it would be leaving sharp defined edges, and we don't want that. So we want a soft brush like that one. Okay, with that we're going to just do a little painting over some of these areas. We're going to change the size of the cursor using the bracket keys, left and right bracket keys that are right to the right of the letter P on the keyboard. The right bracket key makes the cursor larger and the left makes it smaller. So now we'll just slowly paint over some of these areas, and you'll notice on the face here the effects it has. It's letting us see through that black mask to the picture that's below. Notice how it's making some improvements already. So going down in here, and some of these, and to make the cursor smaller, we use that bracket key and go around here, modify some of this a little bit, and give her kind of a Hollywood face, if you will. Hollywood pictures are mostly lies, as most people really realize, but sometimes when ladies see these pictures, they go crazy trying to get themselves to look like that. But all they need is Photoshop, really. Anyway, we're just kind of cruising around here. Now notice above the lip here, let's go here, close to the lips but not on the lip, right there, and it's just magically reducing some of that area. Modify that a little bit. We don't want to remove a birthmark, but maybe modifying it doesn't hurt. So I'm just painting over these areas and hopefully improving the looks of this young woman. She's younger already, isn't she? Alright, in here, here, and here, and here. So that's helped some considerably, I would say. I I think you get the idea. So that's how it's done. And if you overdo, if you go over something and you've overdone it more than you think you should have, you can reverse the process by switching your color boxes to black, and then you can bring in the original back again by painting over that same area. But of course we don't want to leave the original there, so we'll go back here, and that's basically how it's done, and I think it has made a pretty good improvement there. Let's save this, and we'll call it After, and we'll choose to save it as a JPEG. And since we called that one before, we'll change the name here to After. Save it on our desktop. Well, we've helped kind of reduce a few years from this lady's face, and if we do a comparison now, we can see the before and after. The after on the left, before on the right. And we didn't go crazy, make her look 19 years old. I'm sure she didn't want that. But this makes a good, modest effect, and it's pretty handy sometimes for subjects other than faces, but especially for retouching. And that pretty well wraps this up. We used the recording method available in Wondershare's editing program, Filmora, for recording and creating this little video. So until next time, this is Giuseppe signing off.